Hey, welcome to Unrehearsed Research. I'm thankful to have with me today Dr. Amy Harris, who is an associate professor at Brigham Young University in the history department. She is also the director of the family history program. Hi, Amy. Good morning. Hope you're doing well.
I am. Thanks. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining me today. Excited to work with you on some English research. I think one of your specialties is 18th century England, if I have that right.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, good. Well, we'll look at today at my family from 19th century England. And I wanted to mention too that Amy Harris gave the BYU devotional in 2017. So this is a university-wide talk to all the students who want to come. And I happened to listen to it on the podcast feed back in 2017. I re-listened to it again recently. And it's good. It's really insightful and funny too. And she talks about genealogical consciousness, the idea that we all fit into a place in our family in the past, present, and future. So I recommend that talk to you as well. And I'll put a link to that in our show notes today.
I thought you were just
Yeah.
going to point out that was so many years ago.
yeah, it's been 5 years now. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, it was I re-listened to it and it's good. It's fun to hear your thoughts on that.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, I'll share my screen here. Okay, then I'll open up Goldie May to my project here for Mark Downs. This is my third great grandfather, I believe. Yeah, I put in here as the title of the project, Where Did Mark Live and Are His Parents Correct? The family tree shows him born in Norfolk, married in London, and 2 children born in Suffolk and 3 in Yorkshire, not consecutively. And, my one way I look at this is on the Goldie May subway map where you can see all the places he lived and then his lifespan. And you see this kind of zigzagging through England, like he's in Suffolk and then Yorkshire, then back in Suffolk and then back in Yorkshire and, kind of get until he's in Utah, and then that's really continuous. But some of these points are the births of his children. So it's possible maybe some of the children have the wrong birthplaces or whatever. But I wanted to just firm up the research on him to make sure that his parents are right. And then, as we go back beyond him, that we're on sure footing. And so I thought I would, I'll turn it over to your recommendations now, what you want to look at, but how would you kind of coming to something like this, figure out what the truth is here as best as we can tell? And
So what I like is that you have a very specific question.
okay, good.
Is this, I like that the app organizes it that way. Students, I'm always trying to convince them, you have to come up with a very specific question. So I want to start in a not intuitive place, and that's the death certificate.
Okay, cool.
But American death certificates have way more information about people's births than British records, especially 20th century. So yeah, I was going to say the Utah one be available. See what not what he said, right? But the informant about his death, what he knew about Mark's parents and birth.
Yeah, okay. That's a great thought. So, okay, am I in the right place here? So yeah, Mark
right there.
Downs.
So birthplace in Norwich, Norfolk is what, again, this is not what he says, which of course, even if he said it, we don't remember our own births, but still,
Yeah.
it's a direct Henry Downs and Elizabeth Trey. And then the informant is William Downs. Is that his son?
Yeah, I think that'd be his son. I think he was living with a William Downs, his son at the time. So yeah, William.
Probably that guy.
Yeah. Okay.
We don't know for sure, but that's probably,
yeah.
Okay. We could track that out to make sure, but I don't think you need to do that right now so much as news. So it's probably pretty good information. You probably know where your grandparents' names and where your parents were born, at least what you were told.
Yeah. Yep.
So can we go back and look at the details for Mark?
Yeah. So we have here him in Hornsett. Yeah.
So that could be near Norwich. Norwich is a big city.
Okay.
And then his parents.
Let's see. Henry and Elizabeth.
That matches. Okay.
Okay.
And then how old was he when he died? Did they say?
He was
on the certificate.
Okay. 86.
It gives his full birth date. There it is. May 20th.
Oh yeah. May 20th.
Okay. All right. So let's go back to his profile page. So that might be where that stuff came from initially. But someone started with that or just knew that in the family. I don't know.
Okay.
So that tells me that those are probably his parents. That's probably his birth date, but there's a really easy way to confirm that.
Okay.
And that is after 1837, after July 1st, 1837, there's national birth, marriage, and death records in England.
So that's why you know that date by heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can, you have to order the certificates online and it costs, anywhere from 7 to 9 pounds and you wait 2 weeks. But under sources or memories, is anybody maybe already attached it? Would be under memories, sorry, because you can't.
Hmm.
So
No.
marriage, that says marriage record. But if you click on the green, that one, yep, births are red. So
Okay.
this is father's name there on the far right,
Oh
Henry.
yeah, Henry Downs. Yep.
Okay, so that matches. Since I was just hoping someone had the certificate, but if they don't, that's okay. So if we
Okay.
go back to sources, let's see if somebody's put the index, because there's the index to the civil registration to birth on FamilySearch.
It looks like no. I think all these have years, and there's nothing in the 41 range.
Okay, so that's odd. So if we go back
Okay.
to details, that what that tells me is because FamilySearch and Ancestry and everybody else has the index, and if it hasn't been hinted from FamilySearch and it hasn't been attached, that means there's probably something in the way it got indexed that, like, someone may have listed his surname as Bounds, right?
Oh, okay.
Down or something, right? That it could just be slightly different so that the algorithm isn't matching them, but we can easily find him. That's not a problem. So I should explain what civil registration index is. I think this might
Yeah, that'd be great.
useful for fit people you are helping. England, Wales, Scotland's a different thing, but England, Wales, July 1st, 1837, all births, deaths, and marriages are supposed to be registered. There's a lag on the births because people resist government intrusion and always have, right?
Mhm.
So there's maybe 10% underreporting until 1875. They pass a law
Oh,
fee if you don't register a birth within 6 weeks. But most people have kind of come on board by then, or they lie about the kid being 2 weeks younger than they are. So, but so there's some births that don't get recorded. So the birth certificates list mother's previous surnames, usually maiden name, but often you'll also get her previous married names if she has
hmm.
one. They'll list father's name, occupation, where it occurred, who the informant is, when and where the baby was born. Marriage certificates, you just saw one of those, list father's names and occupations, witnesses, where the marriage occurred, because it could be in the registrar's office. It doesn't have to be in a church anymore. Because up until that point, everybody but Quakers and Jews had to be married in the Church of England. Well,
Oh,
in 1754. So they shift to a civil system. And then death certificates have the least amount of information, but you get the informant, the cause of death, when and where they died. These are all, you would go into your local registrar, sort of how, in the US, you would go into the county register a death, right? Or a death anyway. So, or to get permission to marry, that kind of thing.
yeah.
There, they would go into the local registrar or the superintendent registrar. And so the country's divided up in registration districts that would be something that people could reasonably get to, right? So there'll be several registration districts within a county. Counties are
Okay.
relatively small. So the records are kept, the original are there at that the superintendent or the local superintendent registrar. Then once a year or once a quarter, they would make an index and send that into the general register office in London. So back in the day when they made an index available for research, it's based on those quarterly indexes from the superintendent registrars. Well, the local registrars, they weren't thinking of genealogy, and neither was the general registrar. They were just, we just need a basic index for when this shows up, for our general record keeping. So the index is atrocious because
Oh, okay.
it's quarterly, right? And when they label the index by the quarter the event was registered. So
Okay.
sometimes online you'll see somebody say, like for your ancestor, they would say he was born in June of 1841. No, no, no. That just means his birth was recorded in the June quarter.
Got it.
But he's born at the end of May. So say they didn't go to register him until July 1st. Still,
Oh,
so he's only a month old. Well, July is in the September quarter. So he could show up as born September 1841.
so
If
now it
someone
looks way off.
looks way off, if someone just takes
Yeah.
the index without knowing how that index is organized.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
Ancestry and FamilySearch and all these places, they don't explain that to you. And Ancestry tries
Uh,
to compensate by saying April, May, June, right?
okay.
And then they'll go for the first word. No, it can be confusing to counter it for the first time. So the index though is It just says the name of the person, the event, and the quarter it was registered, and the registration district where it was registered. That's it. Until certain years when they had mother's maiden name and then age at death to the index. So it can be hard to know if you even have the right person at all because the index is.
Wow.
And the only way to get the certificates is to physically go to the local registrar where it was done originally, or to go to the general registrar's website and order them from that index.
Okay.
And that's what I'm going to have you do here. So even if you went to London, you have to get online and order through the.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Unless you go to like I said, the original local registrar. They have
So in Norfolk, whatever, you could show up in person and
in the
look at
registration
that.
district where it was registered. So
Okay. Yeah.
But otherwise, you can order the certificate for a few pounds on the general register office. So if you open a new tab, so civil registration's indexed lots of places. Like I said, Ancestry and FamilySearch have it. There's a free website that has been indexing them for years. They're all great. But if you go to the General Register Office, UK, which is under that one right there, it's under His Majesty's Stationery Office. You have to have an account to search the index here, of course. That link for order certificates online.
Order certificates online.
Yeah, that right there. That'll take you to. So the advantage of going to the General Register Office is their index has just a tad more information. And so they don't have the marriages index. It's just birth and death. But for births, you get mother's maiden name. And that can be the clue. So for Mark Downs, we're looking for Drake.
Do you ever go to any of the alternative indexes for these records? Or
yeah, I mean, this is the thing about English research is there's so many people in the UK that are into family history and got so excited about technology 25 years ago that they've created innumerable websites that help you.
Okay.
So you kind of have to know for locally, like if this were Gloucestershire, I would say, oh, Gloucestershire County has their own index they've generated from the local superintendent registrar records. So I just don't know Norfolk off the top of my head. And I looked around before we met just real quick to see if Norfolk had one. Yeah. Cool. And I'll use the Ancestry and FamilySearch ones, but when I know something very specific, because we're trying to find his mother's maiden name, then this is
cool. Okay. Awesome.
So just pick 41. He shouldn't be registered any other year because he's born in the middle of that year.
Okay.
Very persnickety search engine. This is not Ancestry or FamilySearch.
Okay.
Something that allows you to do some fuzzy searches. I would do Downs there, and then under exact matches, pick one of the others.
Okay.
I've never figured out how phonetically
they sound like the same thing, right? I guess.
Yeah. I don't know exactly. We'll go with phonetic.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I would go with Mark. Mark's not a very common name, and so that'll probably help us narrow it down. Pick male, and in general, I try to give a search algorithm as little information as possible that will still yield good results.
Okay.
The more information you give it, especially this one where it doesn't do very good with fuzzy searching. And so if you're not guessing exactly what it wants, you'll get nil results sometimes.
Okay. So you'd rather browse a few than,
Yeah. And so we'll see. Just because Mark's not super common.
Okay. Oh yeah. No results found. Okay.
So I'm guessing because it didn't come up as a match, it was a hint on Family Tree. I'm guessing for sure that Downs is somehow looks different in the index.
Okay. So Mark would be the easy part. Downs would be the hard part. And
but you have to have a surname and it requires it.
Okay. So
I'll tell you one of my cheats.
Okay.
And keep trying to get the GRO guessing what they've done.
Yeah.
It's super persnickety. People I know are there that I have it next to me won't show up.
Okay.
So then I will use, so if you want to open a new tab.
Yeah.
So freebmd.org.uk. And the interface is old because they've been doing it for a long time, but it's simple. So
cool. Okay.
Let's go to cert births, right?
Downs and Mark.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I would just so you have to give it a date range, 41 there. And then you can narrow it by county, which is really nice. I wouldn't do it because we don't know that.
And we were in Norfolk County. Okay.
Okay. So now I start to wonder if the death certificate that his date is off.
Oh, okay.
By a year, right? We're looking in the wrong spot.
Yeah, true.
So I want to do a quick check. If you go back to his profile and go to sources, has anybody attached the 1841 census for this family?
Look at that.
Because he should
No 41, huh?
Okay. Okay. So I have to remember, because he's technically alive when the 41's taken. I'm pretty sure I have to remember. I always have to remember the census in the UK
Would
is
that
on a particular night. It's supposed to be who slept there on
okay.
the night. And it was the 7th of June in 1841.
Oh, 7th of June. Okay.
Yeah. So he should have been
Should have been there.
technically, right? But
Yeah.
what if he's born in 42? Because if he were born in 40, he should have showed up. So can we just click on one of his parents and see if someone's attached the 41 census to them?
Yeah.
We can look at the actual record. Oh, hmm.
Let's see. And does that put him as, I'm going to check his marriage date on the father. That was 43.
Oh, we should have
And
looked at that.
he's
Oh, I missed that.
41. I missed that too.
So I know I can solve this problem. Okay. Well, assuming I'm correct in what if that's true, then what we need to do, if you'll go back to the general registrar page and hit Drake instead of Downs. Yep. And that's all you
okay.
need to change. Let's see. Because if their parents weren't married, they'd be registered under her name.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah. Good point.
Nope. That didn't work.
No.
Let's just try it on free VMD just in case.
Interesting.
I've been registered, but let's go back and look at his profile. I'm just guessing there's something. Okay, his parents get married in 43. His sister's 44. Where's his sister Elizabeth? Suffolk. It's on it under his dad, the 51 census. Was the 51 census there for his dad? I think it was. No, there's no 51. Home is Mark in
Listed.
this. No. It comes. So is there a 61 census for this no. This is all very suspicious. Let's go back to Mark and see if he has 61 attached to him.
There he does.
Okay, let's just
Do that one.
Oh,
21-year-old lodger in 61. That'd be the right age, but
we click on the image. Was born in Norwich, which matches his death certificate. And a groom. Okay. I just like to double check what it says there. Yeah, Norwich. Okay.
groom meaning he's about to be married or?
Oh no, like a stable groom
Oh, okay.
working for somebody's horses somewhere.
Okay, cool.
All right, let's go back to his profile. The plot in a second. When does he immigrate to the U.S.?
We have, let's see, he's in
we have him
1880. Oh, 73. Yeah.
Okay, so he's in the 78 census. When does he get married again?
65.
Yep, I'm going to reverse course. I want to start with his kids.
Interesting. Cool. All right.
I want to have them help us nail him down chronologically because I thought when the death certificate was such a good match, I thought, oh, we'll be able to find his birth.
Oh,
Questions.
okay.
Where the parents married later. Yeah, I want to go a little where we're more sure-footed and work back. So can you just click on Samuel Stephen Downs, the one born in 73? So he's born in Sheffield, and James is born in the States, the next kid down, right? And then Albert is born to the ones where you say they bounce around, right?
Let's see, Sheffield and then, yeah, Suffolk. So we have 2 Yorkshires, Suffolk, Yorkshire, Suffolk.
Let's start with the 71 census.
Okay. Yeah.
Now let's just scroll down and see what the transcription says.
Okay.
Well, now, so this guy, the coachman, which that's not a big leap from groom, but he says he's born in Bury St. Edmunds, Suffolk, Norwich. I'm thinking.
Pretty different place. Yeah. Okay.
So let's go back and look at that list of his kids real quick.
Okay.
Because they all come to the States, right? They're little kids. Did any of them die in Utah? That Samuel or Albert? Not the American-born ones, the British-born ones. Let's look at his death certificate.
Okay.
And see.
And you're saying that because you like the death certificates here?
Just because where he says he's born and who his parents
Okay.
Yeah. Which are going to match, right? But I just want to see what it says from an original record.
Okay.
I don't think this stuff is wrong, but we just want to nail down how it happened, right?
Yeah.
Esther Hutt, is that right? Can't remember.
Yeah, that's right. Hutt. Mm-hmm.
And he's born April 73. And he says he's born in Sheffield.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he didn't say, but the informant says that. Okay. And is that what his details say is Sheffield, or is he one of the Suffolk?
Okay. Yeah. He's Sheffield.
Okay. All right. So I'm just trying to make sure that's the reason I was asking for this is I wanted somebody who'd come with him with the States, died in Utah. We clearly know this is Mark and Elizabeth's son, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And he went across the ocean. So I'm like, okay, this is the same family.
Yeah.
But that census record, if the census record matches everything else, right? Their births, their ages, their relationships, and the dad's birthplace is off. And if that's the only thing off, that we can
Then,
address that, right? Versus
okay.
a bunch of stuff off. So I was just trying to do that
Yeah.
quick check.
Great.
Okay.
Great thought.
All right. So let's look at the registration. Yeah, for one of the kids, did they
For one of the kids. Okay. So he's
not
70.
popping up? He's
He's
74.
not popping up. Yeah. Go back to see if Albert has one. 71. Yeah. Nothing there. Unless it's at the bottom. I don't know if I put years on all these. 1971.
That's unusual that none of them would be registered.
Let me just check a few more kids for that, or
Yeah, let's just see.
open up Joseph, Elizabeth, Henry.
It doesn't mean they're not there, but the algorithm's pretty good about that. There it is. There's
Okay.
the 72 births, England and Wales. Yeah, so registration birth index. Okay, so it's not going to tell you anything. We'd have to go to the
Okay.
that done well. Well, wait a second.
Yeah.
Go back to his detailed page for Joseph.
Mhm.
No, that's right. That's right.
Okay. The next child sources. Yeah, there's that.
Yeah. That's in Sheffield. Okay. So he could just be bouncing for work. I mean, Sheffield is not close to Suffolk, but we are
Okay.
we are talking with a well-developed railroad system.
Okay.
It's odd to bounce around that much, but and it's a little weird about the marriage being in London, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Can we look at Mark's details again? Where's
Mhm.
his wife from? Oxford. I mean, the census is lovely because the census tells you those things, but that's uncommon unless he had gone in. London attracts people to come in for jobs, right? So
Okay. Okay.
she could have gone in for work, and that's how they met. That's
So they met there in London and got married in London, and yeah. Okay.
And then a job took them to Suffolk. Yeah, I really want those birth certificates. Let's see if anybody in memories has attached certificate.
Let's say Albert.
It have to be under memories, The certificate would have had to come to them and they digitized it.
No memories.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'm thinking about which way to go. So he wasn't in the 61 wasn't attached to him, was it, the mark?
I think that's right. I think only 71 and later.
Well, the 71 was only one before they left.
Oh, right. Yep.
No,
That's
there's
right.
the 61 up above. Oh, but that's the one where he's a lodger, right?
Oh, right.
But
Yes.
he's not in the 51, and for some reason, 31 and 41 wasn't attached, or 51 to his parents either. So let's
Yeah.
searching for that. I usually do that on Ancestry because it can
Okay.
search better.
And you go to the census first,
Yeah,
should I say?
go straight to the 18. Let's try 51 and I'll explain why. The 51 is the first one that lists relationships, precise birthplaces, and precise.
Okay.
So that's
Very cool.
I usually use it to reverse back to 41 or the hinting thing back to 41.
Okay.
Well, he's alive by 51, whereas 41, he may have not been in the census, right?
True. Yeah. And you're searching for him or the father?
Let's search for him, Mark.
Okay.
We know he's alive. We know from the death certificate and the census looked at, that, hey, let's go for Norfolk there.
Okay.
And hope for the best. I'm hoping for Mark to help us. What's his dad's name again? Sorry.
Henry is right. Yeah. Good job.
I should keep
Yeah.
notes.
Henry. I'll open up this here. It actually keeps let's see, appearance. Yeah. Henry. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Go back to Ancestry 60 or 51, right? Yeah, I knew this would be tricky because if it were really straightforward, it would have hinted, right?
Yeah. So there's nothing easy on this one.
A little quirk somewhere in either how it got indexed, although more likely how it was originally written. So I'm just looking down in the residents. None of those residents for markdowns are in Norfolk or Suffolk.
Yeah. Okay. So we're pretty far away still.
And there's no Henry as the father. Looking over. So I'm just wondering if it's the surname is being misread. This is problematic where we have if we knew more. There is one from Norfolk there, but that's Isaac Danes. So not a person.
Okay.
If we were really secure in his birthplace, we would use that as a limiting factor, right?
Okay. Yeah.
You'd get rid of what you can do is search just Mark, and then you could search they had to be born in Norwich, Norfolk.
Okay.
But we don't.
We don't.
No
Not
doubt.
confident about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Can't remember. Does it let us search by father's name in here?
yeah, I mean, you can search for Henry.
Okay.
You know where he's born
You know what? Let's see what tree says.
in Suffolk. Okay, so let's
Suffolk.
give it a
Okay.
shot.
Okay.
It might not be right, but we'll just see what comes up.
I'm going to just refresh this page since the fields aren't showing up when I hit edit. Here we go. Okay. Yep. Okay.
Okay. So let's click that guy.
That looks better.
Yeah, and there's no mark.
Maybe. Yeah. No mark.
Bad. Well, click on it because Henry's, he's an ostler. Okay, so it's a similar shield, but he's not head of household here. It's somebody else.
Let's see if I can find him. Let's see.
He's right there.
Oh,
Right.
Henry Downs. Okay. And ostler is.
Yeah, again, with I don't want to misspeak and then get it wrong, but it's related to his son's occupation. I'm going to do
The horse is the coachman and the
yeah. So
groom.
it's a groom or a stablesman as well.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Right word there. But it's an innkeeper, right? He's working at an innkeeper.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yes. So the thing that's different from American censuses is it's supposed to be, and of course there's humans are involved, so it's not 100%, but it's supposed to be where you slept on census night.
Okay.
So it doesn't mean you lived here. So that
Could be passing through just one night and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's look
Okay.
for his mom. Let's look for Elizabeth.
Okay. So back to here, we'll say Elizabeth. And was she Drake? She was Drake.
Oh, no, she'll be Downs because it's her married name.
Oh, Downs. That's right. Thank you.
And then I don't know where she was born.
She was 18. Let's go back to here. 1821. No birth. Oh, there it goes. Norfolk. Okay. Several pages of results here, more results, but nothing.
And but Henry is a spouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be a problem of just they're not. Oh, there's a Henry right there. That's in Surrey.
Okay.
Yeah, that's no help.
Okay.
So I wonder if the problem is they're not all at home on that night, right?
Oh, okay.
They're not, the relationships aren't popping up as easy. So let's go back to here, Mark's siblings that would also be alive in the 51.
So let's see, just two of them?
That's suspicious. Well, let's give her a
Died
shot.
at
44 in Suffolk in the 51 census that year.
Okay.
The other thing is if they're not all together for some reason on census night, then you're at the mercy of whoever filled out the census form. So, if they're like, oh, she's born in Suffolk and they didn't put the place, they didn't know it. That means, she's got different parents. She's 3 years old, she's 10, usually not going to mix up a 10 and a 7-year-old.
Yeah. Okay.
Looking down there.
Okay.
Yeah, those aren't. So I hate to go to, so they're not married till 43. So 41 would be tricky to use anyway. Let's try 61 for Henry and Elizabeth.
Okay. So you're going to go back to, then I'm going to just click this on Goldie May over to 61. Same search.
Oh.
Yeah. And then,
Okay.
see if I get the right one. So so Henry, 1816. This is the dad.
Right.
Okay.
Click on that downer, the Henry Downer. Elizabeth C. Oh, there's a lot going on there, but there's no mark. And it's in Norwich. She's from Norfolk. Let's just look at the original because they've also, Jamil S. is not a real name. So see if they really are Downers. Oh, yeah, that's an S. That's not an R. Oh, he's a sailor. That's not our guy.
Not him. Okay.
Well, wait. Yeah, on Mark's memories where they have his marriage certificate. What's his dad's occupation?
Porter?
Well, not sailor. I can see, porter's another one of those jobs where you could be a groom, you could be a porter, that's not a big fit.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, not a sailor. Plus there was a bunch of kids there and stuff that doesn't match the 61. Oh.
Okay. Was it that one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like if you want to go to the next page, that almost looks like Downey, but that's ES. Yeah. So that's not,
Okay.
and there's no mark there. There's a bunch of kids that we know nothing about. So let's go back to the results page. I mean, I'm willing to look at Suffolk, Norfolk, Yorkshire, right? And there's just,
anything, huh? Yeah.
the Henry with the Dinah, from Nottingham and Yorkshire. These are just there's not enough matching at all. That is odd. It just makes me think there's something about the surname that's been
really missed, huh?
Right?
Yeah.
Mark we have in the 71 with his kids and his wife, right? So
Yeah.
let's
You're
go
right.
to Ancestry.
Hmm.
and look for this family in Ancestry in the 71 census. So I know we have it right here, but Ancestry's hinting is often better.
So just a fresh new search for him on.
Yeah, in 71. Yeah.
Okay.
And see if we can get Ancestry's algorithm to do, I always go back and forth. Find my past, Ancestry, FamilySearch, different indexers, different algorithm. And when there's tricky pieces to see if I can get one to do it.
Mar.
I don't do exact. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So that's him. So click on the view record. Yeah. And then just give it a second. Yeah. The stuff that,
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
yeah, it's got him in the US. No problem.
Is that one?
61. Let's look at it. Oh, that's the one we know about. That's where he's a
Oh,
launcher.
yeah. Lodger. Okay. Then 51, Mark Dre.
Oh. Yeah, I was wondering about the Drake, not. Let's look at it. There's Lydia Downs.
Lydia Downs.
His mother's Elizabeth Lydia. We should have thought of that. We should have thought of looking her for Lydia, where she has two names.
That handwriting's a little harder for me to read here. Let's see.
Oh, yeah. This is explaining a lot. This, I mean, this
Looks like
looks
Drake, but yeah.
it's because we know we're going to try to find him again as Drake in a birth certificate, birth register or something. But she's married, and we knew the husband in 51. Well, Henry Downs, we found at an inn, right, as an ostler. So he could just be staying there that night. We'd have to match up the locations. I'd want to look at that again. But this looks like this is his mom. So if you can scroll over so we can look at the birthplace. It matches his date, matches a relationship to her. He says Norwich, place within Norwich. And his mom from,
Foreign set. Yeah.
yeah, in Norfolk.
Hmm.
Thomas Brown, what's his occupation? It looks like he's an agricultural laborer, ag lab. Yeah.
Hmm.
So the lodger this could be her sister, right? And just depends on how the census taker or how they filled out the form, whether they wanted to put that relationship or that she's lodging, meaning she might stay there 2 nights.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well,
So maybe Mary Brown is a sister or
yeah. I don't want to say 100%. This is your person, but it looks good to me so far because,
Okay.
and Lydia, right? Lydia's not common. Drake's not common. Mark's not common. Well, in relative terms, because in this period in England, Wales is even worse than any 50 to 60% of people have one of 5 or 6 first names.
Oh, interesting.
So Mark and Lydia are not, radically different, but they're just different enough that we have Downs and Drake and Lydia and Mark.
Yeah. Combined. Yeah.
I don't want to say 100% yet, but that's looking better than the other stuff we were not finding. So if you go back to that view. So that was the 51. No, sorry.
See we found him off of this. Yep.
Click that. Yeah, click that one and then see if more pop up. Yeah, see that 41?
Oh.
Let's just go look at it. Because it's weird for the 1-year-old to be all by themselves. So I'm sure they're actually old.
So we're looking for Mark Drake.
Yeah. Don't see him. He's a 1-year-old boy. So there'll be a 1 in the left-hand column.
Oh, that's a good fast way. Yeah. Right
There
there.
he is. Okay.
Oh, there's Lydia. Different spelling. Lydia D.
No, that's ditto.
Oh, ditto. Okay.
Lydia Arnold.
Yeah, Arnold.
And she's only
Okay.
13.
Yeah, that's right.
20.
Mark
Okay.
Drake.
Let's go to the next
Okay.
page. Just because we're at the end to see. Okay, yeah, that's a different house.
Okay.
So this is a place within Norfolk. So 1-year-old Mark Drake, which he should only be a few weeks old, but that's, you can see them putting a 1-year-old.
Yeah. Okay.
Sarah Arnold's a weaver. Now, Sarah Arnold, that's the second one. In the 1841 census, they rounded ages, so it's anybody over the age of 15, they rounded it down to the closest 5 was the rule.
Oh, interesting.
He could be almost 20.
Okay.
And Sarah Arnold above her could be almost 45, right?
And then sometimes is a 13 just breaking the rules or something?
No, anybody under 15 is supposed to.
Oh, under 15. Okay.
But when you look through a few pages, you can tell that they, there's wild interpretations that differ for the census remnants. But okay, so we have a Mark Drake born in 40, according to this, in Norfolk. Let's go back to the GRO and search for Mark Drake in 40.
Okay, so Mark Drake.
Yeah.
And you like to do the phonetic.
Well, with Drake, we might be okay. Dyer. Okay, that's hardly, yeah. So let's go to 40 instead.
Okay.
Because we can narrow it to Norfolk. And let's go to 40 to 41, just in case.
Okay.
Maybe registered. Let's actually go back and do 39. Take Mark out. So then I usually just scan down quickly to see if there's David Mark or something like that, right? Because I was hoping there should have been in the GRO a Mark Drake somewhere in Norfolk who's doesn't pop up with a mother's maiden name because Drake is the mother's maiden name. Okay, so let's just pause here. We know the Mark that comes to Utah. We have him back to 1863 to his marriage, right? That we're pretty good on that part. All the data matches the guy we know that's in Utah with all those kids, right?
Okay. Yep.
I know we didn't check all of those, but we did a spot check. And we have him in 71 census and a possibility for him in 61 when he's on his own. 63, he's in London. 71, he's bounced back and forth between Yorkshire and Suffolk because the census gives those dates. And we could double check those in. No, we couldn't find his kids' registrations either.
Yeah, at least they weren't attached. I guess we never searched for them, but they weren't attached. Yeah.
The MD, which would be an easier search for that case, and spot check his kids to make sure they really are Yorkshire, Suffolk. But that's not going to help us with his earlier life right now. So we have him to 63, maybe 61. The best match in 51 is with Lydia, right? Where he's listed as Drake, not Downs.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
But in 63, he says his dad's Henry, which is not, Henry really could be his biological father. He may not be, but that is it's his stepfather, right?
Okay.
And DNA tests, you'd have to have a lot of those to figure out if there's biological.
Yeah, interesting.
Super common for people to be premaritally conceived, born, and their parents marry, or their mother marries a different man. There's lots of reasons for that. So that
Okay.
way, but we don't. So you do have direct evidence that his parents are his parents from his death certificate. We just don't have him living in a census with his dad.
Yeah, that's
and we
all
don't
broke.
have a census of his parents together with him.
Yeah, that's right.
And do we have a census of his parents together at all?
I don't remember that we did.
Yeah. Maybe they're together in 71. Because
And he's just not there. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go to his details real quick. Again, Mark's, yeah. Because it has a christening for him, doesn't it? Yeah. I find that suspicious. Yeah, there's no sources attached.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And it looks like the person who edited it was just standardizing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Great. And if it were straightforward entry, I'm wondering if he's christened Mark Drake somewhere in Norfolk. That would be useful because if we can find his christening that says, son of Lydia or Elizabeth Lydia Drake, then that's the link, at least to his mother directly. And like I said, there could be he may have not had been registered. You would expect him to be there under Drake. If he's born outside of a parent's marriage, that might be more likely. And it's not hinting because it's trying to find Downs, right? FamilySearch. Hold on. He has a good Norfolk collection of parish registers. Yeah. Find my past. Oh, that's browse only. So it looks like, let's go to FamilySearch's Norfolk parish registers. England. Yeah. I usually just Google. Oh, and you're going to get America. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that right.
That's the one. Okay.
Yep. You're going to have to give it some years.
Okay. Yeah. Birth. So the goes. Sorry, birth.
Easily.
Oh, bless you.
All right. Sorry, go back to 39. Let's think about 41 census where he's a year old. I just want to, if that's really him, which you don't know. Yeah, she may have not had him christened. And it could also be, if we just go to the collection page for this Norfolk collection. So the problem is it's not always clear who's in it, which parishes, because it says county record office. So that means they walked into the county record office in Norwich and they filmed all the Norfolk parish registers that were there. But it's so easy for them to miss a chunk or a parish that was in some other place when they went into film.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So that it's got most of Norfolk, but might be missing a parish or two.
Okay.
When we're doing the filming and so forth. So she may have not gotten baptized. He may have been baptized as down somewhere. He may not be Anglican. It could be and the parish could be missing. So, and we don't know the parish, and Norwich is a big place. So it's if this were a small rural place, I would say let's go to the FamilySearch catalog and see if we have the microfilm or digital
okay.
registers, right? And we could just quickly go in and scan those 6 pages, but we don't know a specific enough location for that. So they could be non-Anglican, but it is weird that we can't get birth registration. We can't find him with those parents together in the census. And we looked for
Yeah.
his sister, right? And for his sister's birth registration, and did we find that? She was in 40,
Let's see if I'm skipping past it.
and that's in Suffolk in 44. And yeah, and are there any sources attached? There were, but it wasn't. What was it, Chris? Let's look at that. Oh dear. Oh no. If that's true, look who the mother is.
Mary
Yeah.
Drake.
Not Elizabeth Lydia Drake.
The sister isn't a sister, or
And the event date is December of 51. So she didn't get baptized till she was 7. We got to look at that. And so if we go to the Norfolk collection, we should be able to find her. Elizabeth Downs. Sometimes this frustrates me so much because we know
yeah,
just because if you go back to her profile page, the source that was attached, that big database, England births and christenings, 1548, 1995, its origin is the old IGI extractions. So this is an extraction from an original record.
so
We should be in that. Oh no, sorry, this was my mistake. Sorry, Suffolk, not in
Oh,
Norfolk.
okay, so not Norfolk. So
Let's see who has the best Suffolk Parish Register collection.
okay,
I usually just Google Suffolk Parish Registers. And yeah, looks like FamilySearch again.
FamilySearch. Okay,
Parish Registers or what?
okay. Oh yeah, parish registers.
Otherwise, you get a bunch of stuff from Massachusetts. Oh no,
Oh, this is the wiki page. Yeah, we don't want that.
there may not be a good online database for the whole county. Yeah, it doesn't look good, but that's easy. We can fix it.
Okay.
Because we know it is indexed the original record. Go back to her profile. What was Bury St. Edmunds, December 51. So if you go to a FamilySearch catalog, there we go. Search records. St. John the Evangelist. Okay. That's the parish name.
So St. John. Let's see if I type Evangel.
Mm-hmm. But there is a St. John down there below. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, is that the same one they're talking about? So if we go back to her profile really quick, I want to check. I should have had you do this originally. Yeah. So click on the web page link to the record up above that link. And then under document information on the right,
Permission.
and it tells you the film number right there.
Mm.
So if you want a little quick thing that might help people, indexing project batch number right there.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you see a batch number, that's IGI extraction. So you know it comes from this original record. It's not somebody just submitting information.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, that's nice.
So the GS film number is the Family History Library film number. Clicking on it won't do you any good. It'll just bring up everybody else they've indexed off of that film.
Oh,
So
okay.
you that film number into the catalog search. But
And then
where we were in the catalog is that is the film number we were on. That's all I was trying to check. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So yeah,
Okay. So potentially it's in there.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's item 2. So you got to make sure, I really want to look at that original.
Okay.
But that's what I would do. Number 1 is look at the original for that.
And there we're trying to see, does she even fit in the family? Is that kind of the idea?
Yeah. Is she whatever mysteries we've been covering next?
Yeah. Okay.
So also because it's listed her mother's maiden name on that index, which would be unusual in these records. She's 7 years old, not super common. Let's just see what the original says. And it will also list father's occupation and the family's place of residence.
Okay.
On the original. So, if it says he's a lieutenant in the Royal Navy, okay, that's not matching what we know about Mark's dad, right? What we know he's a porter. That's all we got, really. And what's going on with Mary Drake? Like
versus Elizabeth Lydia Drake. Yeah.
And I could definitely see, and we can kind of check this. If you want to go back to Elizabeth Don's profile and go to details, and then on the right, go down to do the latest changes, and let's show all changes. And scroll to the bottom. Let's see what the original is here. So FamilySearch. So 2012, anytime you see those 2012, and that just says FamilySearch as the contributor, those are the big data dumps when they ended new FamilySearch and dumped.
Okay. Brought into this tree.
That doesn't mean they created it out of nowhere. That just means they brought it in from new FamilySearch.
Okay.
So if you scroll up, even though the original record says the mother's name, right? Everyone's they keep adding Elizabeth as the relationship. Fixing the standardized places. Oh, there it is. So Family Search transferred all that new Family Search data that had this Elizabeth with the father Henry and the mother Elizabeth Lydia, and other people, were agreeing or attaching or whatever. And then right there, someone attached that source in
So
2015.
that one. Yeah.
It has Mary as the mother. So that's just a user that just attached a source. And I bet you it's because the algorithm went Drake surname, generally the right place, father's name, sort of
Yeah. Everything else looked good. And
look good. So
yeah.
that needs more analysis to know if that's even correct, right?
Okay.
So what I'm afraid of is that there's a Elizabeth Downs who's christened in 1851, but born in 44. And there's an Elizabeth Downs that's the sister to your Mark, and they may or may not be the same person.
Okay.
It might be two people. An easy check is to check for Elizabeth Downs in 44, right? In the GRO. Since we can't look at that, Kristen, how many did we get? Oh, well, similar
Page
sounding.
3.
They take a very liberal view of similar sounding. So it's really only the first few that are Downs. You might want to try
right.
a lot of ES just with an S,
Okay.
because I don't see any of them that have the mother's maiden name of Drake. I don't see any Drake as a maiden name, which there should be, because we have that 1851 christening. It says their mother's Mary Drake, right? I mean, even
Yeah. Should be either one. Yeah.
we shouldn't be missing both of them. Let's go to the free BMD so you can just limit it to Suffolk. Let's just give ourselves a little, like 43, 45, like you normally do. Yeah.
Okay.
Sudbury's in Suffolk. I don't know if Bury St. Edmunds is covered by it. Let's see. You have to go and click Sudbury.
Okay.
And then click that information about it, right? So just scroll up a bit to see if Bury St. Edmunds is on this parish list. So that just means that parish is not in Sudbury registration district.
Oh, got it. Okay. Yep.
Which, I mean, that baptism is from 7 years after that child was born. So that, they don't have to match up. So now we know we have an Elizabeth Downs in Sudbury in 45, which is a little off, but let's go back to RO now that we have that data. So you got 40
Downs.
It's
Yeah.
under registration district. You can put Sudbury, district of birth. Yeah. So what we have here should have brought that up, right?
Yeah. But you're saying that's the quirkiness of it, is
That's
that?
the quirkiness of it. So maybe ditch Elizabeth. Unless it's we get. Oh no, that's there. There she is.
December quarter in Sudbury. Okay.
Her mother's maiden name is Golding, not Drake. Let's go back to just look at marks just to reorient.
Okay.
I find that sister suspicious now because I don't
Okay.
know where she came from. Now that someone just attached a random christening record to her, that's easy. You can detach that if you determine that's not the right person.
Okay.
Mother name doesn't match. I don't even know. I mean, New Family Search had this Elizabeth. Ooh, let's look at Elizabeth's ordinance data. That can tell us that stuff sometimes. Oh, that's much. Okay. That 21 changes.
21. What are you seeing in that when you see that?
Baptism in 1921, because that has all the hallmarks of family who know her doing that.
Oh, interesting. That the fact that it's that far back.
Really, yeah.
Okay.
And well, let's look at Mark's just to orient me in, because he joined the church in his lifetime. Wait, we must be looking at, that can't be. He could not have been baptized.
A week after he was born.
I bet what that is fascinating. So when he got endowed in the endowment house, right, in 74, when he got married, right, that's really common. They'd go to get married and they'd get endowed first. I'm betting, it's been a while since I've looked at an endowment house register. If they asked for baptism date there. And it could also come from membership records. So some membership record somewhere, and I wish they would list this here because on the backside they have it. This birth and confirmation or baptism and confirmation got attached to him somewhere in long lines, either from him reporting it or someone misreading a record or typing a record. So that's something strong there. But that's a Latter-day Saint record thing that you could solve. You could figure that out. And he dies in 27. So he's the one in 17, right? He's 17. He's the one person to be sent to his parents. So while he was alive, almost certainly said, my parents are Henry Downs and Elizabeth Lydia Drake. And that 21 for Elizabeth, this sister, is intriguing because he's alive for that. So let's look at his parent when they're saying, okay, so when you see stuff like this, I mean, I'm sure you've run across these before.
Where it's out of order here.
Yeah, it's out of order. It's just because there is an earlier baptism for them somewhere, but it's got lost somewhere or not.
Oh, okay.
That it's
Someone did a recent one and it overwrote the old one or
overwrote
something.
it, and they usually try to go for the oldest one, but this somewhere in the database, the oldest one is not connecting to this one. So this happens all the time because they got baptized in 1880 and they recorded them under a married name, which is not what we do for record keeping. And then they got rebaptized by proxy, in the 1980s under their maiden name, and the algorithm can't match those.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Or just, what if Henry Downs was listed as Henry Richard Downs or something, and the system just didn't connect them. And so then somebody repeated the work in 79, unwittingly, that's strange. And then someone's duplicated the parents for his dad. That's a problem for another day.
Okay. Yep.
So he got sailed to his spouse in 17. So, well, I think Mark's doing temple work for his family.
Interesting. Okay.
Kids, maybe, right? But Mark's alive and well, as far as we know, because that's 16, 17, 21, right? This is doing work for family members. That's his dad. Let's click on his mom just to make sure we're dealing with the same kind of dates. For it.
Yeah, 17. Interesting.
It's the same thing where I bet you, for her, almost 100% guarantee her baptism and confirmation were done under Downs.
Oh, okay.
And then the computer system just didn't match them up, right? I'm going to turn this into a Latter-day Saint research project for you first.
Yeah, okay.
Well, because those original temple records will list the heir, meaning the descendant who's doing it, and they'll list more details. They'll often
okay.
birth info, relationships. I'm particularly interested in the sister, that if he says this is my sister, then I think someone's just attached the wrong christening record. I don't think his sister was christened. If that's his sister, right? And we couldn't find a christening record or a birth register for her, I just think that's not about him. But if you want to try to figure out the sister, that's what I would do. Is go look at that original temple records for her, right? But it's probably family who he has a memory of her. But his LDS baptism date of 1841. I really want to figure that out.
So that's like something I could see at the BYU library?
No, you have to go to the family history library and you have to have a temple recommend, and you have to go to the special collections room up on the second floor, and then they let you use it's all microfilmed. But his baptism date of 41, that's just, I'm going to go with everything else about this guy, the census, the U.S. records. They all say he's born then. I'm just guessing somebody somewhere did his birth date as his baptism.
As the baptism date. Okay.
Some record somewhere. Because we don't know more details about that. It's hard to tell.
And it's not like he's confused about what's your baptism and he's saying his Church of England baptism, right?
Baptism. I mean, I guess. I mean, that would be weird that he's getting that wrong. But, but we don't have a christening for him anyway. I mean,
someone put their christening date. Yeah.
Yeah. They just randomly picked a day as far as
30th of Jan.
I mean, you could go back under the see all changes and figure out when that date got.
When it came in. Yeah. Okay.
But I'm going to guess. I mean, the last person to change anything on it just changed just standardized the date. So it might be 10 years ago, whenever that got entered. So person may not be accessible to find out, but you could look at that. I'm confident, like looking at that ordinance data and his death certificate, that Mary Drake, I think, is a red herring. I think someone just attached the wrong Elizabeth. I mean, I guess it could be her, but it's so close that you can see how somebody accidentally attached it. But the Mary, I would still want to look at the original just to make sure, right? Just make sure it really is long. But for whatever reason, his parents, we do have the marriage for them, right? We just haven't looked at it. It's there. England, Norfolk Parish Registers. That's the band. That's not the marriage record. There we go. Yeah.
That one. Okay.
That's the marriage record. This is a Norwich, right? Yeah. See, and Lydia Drake, where did Elizabeth even come from, I wonder? And he's listed as laborer. Yeah, he has one of those occupations where it could be
anything, huh?
Yeah. And they're listed as bachelor and spinster. He should have been registered as Drake, Mark, right? And if you got christened, it should have been Drake. But his parents got married in the Church of England doesn't mean that they're necessarily big churchgoers. So they may not have had kids christened, right? Or they could go to the church for the big marriage, but they're experimenting with Methodism.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah.
Well, they might have kids baptized in some other church.
Hmm.
But I'm relatively confident about his parents' names. I'm just not confident that we're done filling in the gaps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sort of
There's
3 to 41. And so if this were something I was really doing, I would need, I'd need a sort of chart and graph. Okay, this is what I would do is sort of, okay, here's where I have Mark, where I know it's the right guy. Here's where I have the potential for his dad, right? Because they're never together in a census. Yeah. So I would sort of map it out for myself. And you could do that with your task list or whatever works for you. That sort of here's where I firmly have Mark to this spot. I'm not too concerned about the Sheffield, Yorkshire stuff, just because I think that's the census supports that. And you could double check to see if the civil registration births have been attached to all those kids. And you could double check it against the GRO to make sure the mother's maiden name is Hutt.
okay.
That would be a way to just firm that up. But I'm not too worried about that because they all came to the States and all, you have a bunch of other data on them in the state. So yeah, I'd put, this is where I have Mark too. And then here's potential parents, right? Then there's this 1851 christening, but the mother's Mary. But you'd want to look at that original to see what the father's occupation was. There's these scattered censuses we found on Ancestry's algorithm that could be his dad in one place and his mom in another. And that it could be him with his mom as Lydia Drake, right? And I would just sort of timeline those out for myself and then see if I could make them work. Because sometimes what works is, say you go in to do a search in 51, like we did for Henry Downs. And you say, okay, I searched for Henry Downs, Downer, DOW asterisk, right? So it gets anything that starts with Dow, born 1815 to 1820 in Norfolk or Suffolk. And I find two. And because then it helps you narrow down a kind of, I don't have any direct evidence, but all the pieces, the only way to make them fit is to say, oh, that I found two guys in 51 and one is sailor, right? The guy that's a sailor. And I found Elizabeth over here in 51 with Mark Drake. And I find no other Elizabeth Drakes or Elizabeth Downs with a Mark of the right age, right? In one of those counties. So she's the last one standing. These are the only candidates for these things. If you miss them in one census or one birth registration, that's fine. But whether we can't find them consistently together, you just have to make a case for why all these disparate ones are the same people. I would have a column for Henry and a column for Lydia Elizabeth and just sort of say, in each census year and each year they should have had a kid. How many people do I have that match those? And if it's only one each time you go down, that helps you build a case for these are the same people. And then internally, does the data match? Does, the Lydia from 1851, does her birth date and age and occupation roughly match what you get in 61? Like we were kind of doing that for Henry, right? We're saying, groom, ostler, you can kind of see him. A porter, that's
similar jobs, like
he's not caring for animals.
identical.
It's not like it's a skill he couldn't have acquired by doing
Yeah.
it. That's what I would do, sort of map out so I could orient myself and go, okay, which of these do I think are the same people? And I would do both parents and the sister Elizabeth and Mark, sort of from 1863 back to 1841.
When you're doing that, are you using like Excel and columns and rows or printing it out on a piece of paper and kind of, I don't know, whiteboard, or how would you do that?
I often do it handwritten first because it cognitively helps me sort of analyze as I go. But then I'll do it like Excel or a table in Word, something like that, where you can easily see it. When I do it with students in class, we have these whiteboards that cover a whole wall. And
cool. Yeah.
And we do different colors. And that's really nice because it gives you a big map, but we don't all have the space to do that.
That's cool.
But I often do it handwritten first because I can scribble and point arrows and sort of map it out. But Excel's really
very helpful to hear that. Yeah. Okay.
I have lots of other ideas, but that's what I would do first to make sure you've gone through what we've done and can come up with a plan of attack for the next thing instead of just a scatter shot, sort of say, we've done it all. We've covered a lot of territory and it would need to be kind of systematized for you.
So we're kind of narrow it back in and make sure we're in the right.
Okay. So the sister now, I need to figure her out. There could be other kids in there because if they're just not registering them or they're getting registered as Drake and it's in a slightly different spot than we expect or a slightly different time, there may be nonconformist. There can be so many things that are playing a role that we would just want to know that we've done a sort of systematic approach through them from that point.
Good. This is great. Amy, this is awesome. Like you've covered a lot of ground and it's incredible how you keep it all in your head.
I couldn't find a great answer.
No, this is, I mean, I'm glad we did the process because I've learned a lot and I think people will learn a lot too from seeing how you think about it.
Well, and I'm
So
hoping people would see, even in a time period with good record coverage, with good content, it can take time to, they can, they can be squirrely on you. And so it's not
yeah,
really easy direct. And the easy
it,
direct stuff gets hinted.
yeah, when you said that earlier, it was like, wow, you're right. Like if this were easy, it would have already come up to us, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Thank you. I
All
appreciate it.
right. No
Okay.
problem.
Take care.
Bye.
Right. Bye-bye.